Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law through this channel. I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. If anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, I'm going to look at MMTLP and all your broker updates with regard to moving your shares with AST, so stay tuned for that. And before we get started, let's have a quick look at what's happening in the markets. So first headline here is the US today has extended gains and the Nasdaq has soared 2%. So yesterday we did see a significant pullback, but good news today, the major stock markets in the United States advanced further today on the batch of economic releases as well as earnings and boosting investor mood. So the Nasdaq 100 was up 2% or 310 points. Dow Jones was up 0.71%, 250 points. So overall, great news for the market. So we have a look at the heat map here: technology, communication, consumer cyclical, healthcare, consumer defenses, all significantly green, as well as financial. So hopefully this continues. So before we look at all the broker-dealer updates, I'd like to start by having a quick update in terms of the message from Greg McCabe and why he has taken this step in terms of the company asking everybody to transfer their shares with AST. So let's have a look at his message here. From the S1, it states here, "I have had the opportunity to review the efforts by NextBridge management team to pursue a short-term trading window and to request that FINRA require all individuals and entities holding short positions in NextBridge common stock to be forced to close their positions." So they did try with FINRA, and certainly that was unsuccessful. The efforts by NextBridge were thorough, rigorous and quite compelling. So that's why we've had a delay. Behind the scenes, the company have been working quite hard, but FINRA have not been forthcoming. FINRA did not find that they had the authority to issue a corporate action requiring all short positions to be closed. So the way I see that is basically FINRA are saying they cannot force the shorts to follow the law. They cannot ensure them to take infinite risks. So basically they're saying they have to be a law unto themselves, and they're not going to enforce the law. So NextBridge, so now as far as Greg is concerned, NextBridge is now going to move forward with the business of running the company. So they have made the decision to assign proportionally his 10% working interest back into the company and my interest in the Bronco prospects. So Greg strongly believes that having all shares of NextBridge at AST will provide significant value to corporate governance and communications with NextBridge shareholders, and he has personally begun the process of moving all his shares in AST. So this decision certainly has not been taken lightly, and he states here in terms of now the next message is from Clifton Dubose, who stated the contribution of some or possibly all of the back in interest will allow more of the future profits of NextBridge principal assets to stay with the company. So this contribution by Mr. McCabe is an exciting development for the company. So obviously there's a strong incentive now to move your shares with AST, so that will help them with the count, and it will also help them with obviously the gesture that Greg McCabe has just shared here. Let's now have a look at the updates from the broker dealers. So first of all, shout out to Chris, who's providing an update with regard to Trading 212, and what he stated here is, haven't decided either way, but always going to assess my options. Trading 212 all doing the same. I'm probably hoping that the SEC saved them. So the message here we can see in the screenshot from Trading 212. We are still working on it. Any updates will be posted within this chat. Thank you for your patience. So next shout out to Crypto Guru, who's also asked the same question to Trading 212 and stated here in terms of an update, and they have stated again, we are still working on it and any updates will be posted. So no real concrete answer from Trading 212. And the final update from Crypto, who stated here, basically we will check your inquiry and get back to you as soon as possible. So he has told them that obviously we have been asked to move our shares with AST. Can you help move mine? So once we get a confirmed update from Trading 212, we will share that, but as of yet Trading 212 have not responded with anything specific. Let's now have a look at Fidelity, and shout out here to T Rogers, who stated, just got off the phone with Fidelity. They said it was impossible to direct transfer my shares, but could still possibly get the certificate. So obviously T Rogers is not happy. It sounds like they are going to make the shorts cover blank 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 and forcing everyone to jump through hoops to balance the books, and if you're late to the boat. So not a good response that T Rogers has received from Fidelity. So Pistol Pete has also contacted Fidelity, and he said Fidelity told me $100 and I would have to transfer out of IRA to brokerage account, then send paper certificates. I would have a distribution, but I asked what value. He said I showed not applicable. So now he said talk to an accountant. I asked how am I going to show what value, and then I am trapped. So not a great answer for Pistol Pete there. And finally, Midwest Investor stated, for those with Fidelity with MMTLP in Roth, I had a lengthy phone call and you are able to transfer my share to AST for $100. I had to speak with a manager, and maybe you also have to speak to a Karen. So if you are having trouble with Fidelity, ask for a manager, maybe even ask for a Karen. The next update we're going to look at is from Schwab, and shout out here to Timothy Allen, who stated Schwab said I needed to make an account and initiate from AST, which he's finding odd. I also find that odd because I think it is the broker-dealer responsibility, so not a great response from Schwab here. And Timothy's also stated other brokers claim the account at AST will be auto-created for you upon transfer. So Timothy went to AST yesterday to make an account and got an error page. Yes, I was aware of this error page. So not good response there, Schwab. You certainly need to do better. The Rising Star has also stated I spent an hour and a half on the phone with Schwab and they will not transfer or register my shares. So we need to put pressure on Schwab to the transfer agent. We have placeholders, not shares. If we had real shares, they said they would be no problem transferring some. But what Schwab need to realize is that if other brokers are able to do it, then why are you not able to do it? But these placeholders are not real shares and such cannot be transferred anywhere according to Schwab. What they are saying was simple. Schwab never gave me any shares of Nextbridge Hydrocarbons, so he's got nothing to transfer. Not a great response. And the final response with regard to Schwab from DM on 1QM has stated, Schwab, which I was forced into from TD, says no. Webull says no. Now what? So Sean Glatier said I have Schwab as well. So far they kind of suck, but Street Smart Edge rocks. Currently looking at Moo for future trade. So overall it's not a positive response that we are seeing from Schwab. We're now going to look at some of the updates from Robinhood. So first shout out here to Mr. Walnuts, who stated here that we are again sharing a screenshot from Robinhood, and it states here we are in custody of your shares and they will be held in book entry at AST. While the shares are tradable on Robinhood, are usually held with the DTC. These Nextbridge Hydrocarbon shares will be held in an aggregate on Robinhood's behalf at AST. Because the security is no longer publicly tradable, you will receive the dividend. They are held at AST. So as far as I'm concerned, the key word there, which is contractual obligation legally, is you will receive the dividend. So that is a good screenshot to take, because if, for example, there is a payout in the future, that is your right to get that money there, which is obviously a promise to you. So no matter what happens, that is your legal contract. So the next shout out here to Gabe, who stated Robinhood had no problem transferring mine. This was a first. Their tone has changed since Thursday. So good message from Gabe here. What it basically means is on the first day, on Thursday, when everybody was asking, I think the brokers may have been taken aback a little bit, but now obviously they're getting more and more phone calls, so they're probably getting their act together. So certainly Robinhood seem to be a little bit better than Schwab, and the message, the screenshot shared here is in order to process your request on your behalf, we will need the following: obviously name, address, phone number on your Robinhood account, and there's a $25 fee. And if we look at number 3 in the screenshot, it states here further down, number 2, which I think is very interesting: if these shares become tradable, you will no longer be able to trade your MMTZZZ shares on Robinhood platform unless you transfer them back to Robinhood. So remember, if I know many people do want the 2 days of trading, I believe those 2 days of trading not going to happen, but theoretically if they do, it states here you can obviously move them back. So if a situation happens in the future where we get some victory and that 2 days of trading are promised, then as far as I'm concerned, everybody who has shares in AST should have the opportunity to transfer them back, and it is certainly possible. Next shout out to Jim Smith, who stated the broker at Robinhood just said it would cost $25 and it's a one-time fee, so a little bit better response there. Again, slightly more positive from Robinhood. The next broker we're going to look at is Freedom24. This broker is a European broker. Shout out here to Stephen Woolsey, who shared a screenshot, and in the screenshot it states here, hello, thanks for waiting. The procedure is not a standard procedure for us, so it's not included in the fee schedule. Such cases are considered individually, taking into account the cost of this operation. As we informed earlier, according to the information from the broker, they are ready to re-register the shares in the name of FFEU. So obviously that is going to be in the name of Freedom24, so that we can further re-register to our clients at their request. The stage of registration of shares to the client is determined by our tariff, and that is $1,250. So I think that's quite scandalous. So not great response there from Freedom24. And the next broker we're going to look at here is E-Trade. So shout out to Play for Keeps. He stated, anybody know how to get the $500 transfer fee from E-Trade removed? So not again, not positive from E-Trade. $500 transfer fee is also not good. He's called in the morning and he stated they could not remove the fee as it was because they cannot transfer the shares electronically because the company is private, so the cost is set at $500 because of the paperwork. So again, not very good from E-Trade there. And the Goose has also called E-Trade and stated they will not send directly to AST due to not being DRS capable. They would send me certificates, and then it's the Goose's responsibility. Explained other brokers are doing, but they will not. So obviously the Goose has correctly shared details with regard to other brokers who are doing it properly, had no issues with Fidelity in the past, so not very good at all from E-Trade there. And let's move on to Heather, and what Heather is stated here is with regard to TD, no screenshots, but I had a call with TD. They said they can start the process of transferring the shares to AST at my say, and I don't need to do anything at my end, no cost. So that's how it should be done. So again, positive news from TD there. And what Bruce has also stated, latest from TD, obviously if you would like to have your shares transferred to AST, please reply to this email, and please allow 8 to 10 weeks. So I'm fairly happy with TD there, so credit to TD where credit is due. And the Bird Lady here stated she started the direct registration process with JP Morgan. The fee for the Bird Lady is $25, and they said it was non-negotiable, and it may take up to 6 weeks. However, the Bird Lady has also shared an update, and she said, after 2 calls being told yesterday they were actually transferring my new shares, JP Morgan hits me up with more paperwork and they are stalling. So we'll wait for more updates from the Bird Lady. And the last one I'm going to share with you is an international one, and this is from Sean, who stated, my broker Poems Phillips Securities in Singapore just told me again they can't move my shares to AST, full stop. They will follow up and get back to me again daily for updates of what other options I can have. So are his shares worthless now, and was he scammed? I would like obviously a response from Nextbridge Hydrocarbons for people like Sean and many others internationally and also in the US who are having significant trouble that we are seeing across the broker dealers, and we do need some consistency and we do need some clarity in terms of the process going forward. I'd like to finish off on some positive news, and this is another shout out here to Anna Trades, who's posted earlier today, confirmed the House Financial Services Committee is sending a letter to the SEC on behalf of MMTLP community. So I think this is a great post and this is great news. So credit to Anna for sharing this. And what I would like to do, if anybody is out there on Twitter, if you could go ahead, follow Anna and share this message again, so we do get more readership of of this, and remember one of the earlier tweets from Eli Crane, we've managed to get over 500,000 views, so it would be great if Anna gets a lot more coverage than this. So we are making progress. It is slow progress, but we are not going away and we are not giving up. And finally, there has been some breaking news just at time of editing, and I'd like to thank and give a shout out to Republican Eli Crane for his post earlier, just a few minutes ago, where he stated, "Thanks to my colleagues in the Financial Committee who are fighting for answers for those in the MMTLP community." So in this post, we can see there is a letter addressed, again dated July the 28th, addressed to Gary Gensler, and we can see signatures here from Pete Sessions, Bill Huizenga, Barry Ludermilk, John Rose, Bill Posey, Anne Wagner, Alex Mooney, and Brian Steele. And Mr. Gary Gensler, the dishonourable Gary Gensler, are you going to ignore the instructions and the requests from the honourable members? We await your response.